wrong with YouTube. But I thought I was on live. I guess I would. Anyway, I'm on my way to work. I'm almost there. I just wanted to talk a little bit about grief. Just about, anybody that's going through grief, missing their mom on Mother's Day. It has been a journey, y'all. I'm telling you, some Mother's Day are better than others, but this Mother's Day, I was like, oh, Mother's Day sucked. I mean, just going through grief, going through, missing my mom and things like that. But I want to encourage you, that, this too shall pass. I got through it somehow, some way, right? I got through it, and I was just thinking, uh, I don't know how my own mother went through missing her mother, but I know at times, she would share with me things that her mother said, and it was a blessing, right? She used to share with me, her mother's favorite song was "The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want." And I find myself thinking of that. But grief is difficult. But I want to encourage you, while you have your loved ones, please appreciate them, because life is short. And I'm just looking, and just realizing, sometimes when you're grieving, it's really nothing that you could say to somebody, but I'm praying for you. It's something that, we have to go through, right? Especially when you had a close relationship with, your loved one, right? And I wonder sometimes how, people, what is it that's in them, that gives them the ability. I know this, my friend, she lost her mother, and she, is doing workshops and everything, and I'm like, dang, how can she do it? She's, it has to be God. It has to be God, because I find myself dreading Mother's Day. But here again, sometimes we go through things for different reasons, or just to, you know, um, build a community, to encourage you. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to grieve, because even, Jesus, he grieved, right? He grieved in his own you know uh things that he was going through. He know that he had to die for us, and he didn't want to do it. And there are sometimes in your life you have to go through things that you don't want to go through, but God is always there to bring you through, right? Jesus said that I will never leave you, and never forsake you. I'm like, okay, God, you're with me, even in my time of grief. And sometimes when you're going through grief, you don't want to explain to nobody. You may not want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I was just looking at somebody's live, and they said that they they are I was just looking. I lost my thought. But y'all, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. So yes, I got through another Mother's Day, and I'm okay. I just want to encourage you to appreciate your Yes, yes. It says it's the only me um, and you got, yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Yeah, Mother's Day was hard. And I looked up that somebody was talking about Mother's Day was upcoming. I was like, what, another Mother's Day? Like, please, somebody turn it off, all right? And you just get in your feelings, you get in your, self and things like that. And I'm like, is this ever going to get better? I'm like, wow, just a hard grief of missing my mother. And I would do videos with her. I would do videos with her, and I can't even look at them videos hardly. People ask me, you know, you should share more videos of your mom. I was like, to myself, I can't do it, right? So I'm like, Lord, just give me strength. And we go through things for different reasons. So if you have went through some type of grief in your life, know that the Lord is with you, right? Know that He's with you, and He said that He will never leave you nor forsake you. Yes, Harry, I'm right there. Let's see, Harry, I'm right there with you. It's just, it seems like I dread Mother's Day, and I'm like, Lord, is this gonna get better? Because somebody said when you're grieving and things like that, when you're grieving, always have something planned. Well, y'all, I was caught. I didn't have nothing planned, right? My nephew, he gave us tickets to go see Anthony Hamilton and Fantasia, and I had a good time. That was Saturday. But here comes Sunday, right? Then you go to church, and then that they're gonna make a big announcement on Mother's Day. Not only, am my mother is gone, but I went through a hard sickness where I wasn't able to have any kids. So that's like a double whammy, right? And women and men, we go through so much in this life, and sometimes you ask God, like, why is this happening to me? But through it all, I guess just to build a community. Like, you're not the only one. Like you said, Harry, I miss my mom. Yeah. And it's like, she not coming. I just be thinking it's nothing that I can do to bring her back. But God, help me with this pain. And I said, dealing with grief is like learning how to live without a limb or a leg, because that leg, once you lose it, it's not coming back. So you learn to make adjustments, because it's no norm, because your life is going to change, right? And life is going to change. You said, Sarah, you said, I pray for everyone missing the people they love who have passed. It's really difficult. It is. It's so difficult, because some days are better than others, right? But in this life, we shall have trials and tribulations. But I said to myself, thank you, Jesus. I said to myself, I'd rather be going through with the Lord than without Him. The Lord is there. Jesus said, I will never leave you nor forsake you, And so I just want to encourage you today, those who had a rough Mother's Day, and you said you miss your mom. We got through it, y'all. We got through another Mother's Day. We okay. Still, some of us are still in pain, trying to find a new norm of how to go on, right? Especially like those who have, been caregivers and things like that. You gotta find a new norm, right? And this person told me such good advice. She was like, Tracy, don't let when you grieving, don't let you know days that are special creep up on you without doing anything or having something planned. But this time I didn't have nothing planned, and it was like I was like a deer in headlights, right? Because I know they had different things at church. I said I cannot go, and there, and I just didn't know what to do, right? But through it all, the Lord got me through it, because I'm learning that it's really no way to grieve, right? But with the grief, we ask God to help us to get through. Help us to get through this grief. Help us to get through this journey. Help us to get through this pain that we're going through. And just maybe, I can be a help to somebody else. Sometimes when you go through things, you feel like you're going through it, by yourself. And you're not. There are people that's going through that. So I know, I understand grief. We may not feel the same way, or why, but and then too, I'm learning to not live with regret. You know how sometimes you lose somebody and you say, dang, I wonder, maybe I could have did this, maybe I could have did that. No, because you don't have the power of life and death. You know, I just believe that we just don't have that power. When it's your time to go, God will take breath from you. He give breath and he take it away. So God gives breath to us, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go. Let me see, it says you all got to think of they were here. They would make your day just happy, just have happy thoughts about them. Think of good times. Use the day to remember them in that day. Thank you for that. That's what I'm trying to do, and I thank you for those words, Sarah. That's what I'm trying to do. Remember the good times, right? Um, and it does make you feel better, but it's just a journey, right? And it's been 5 years, and I just like, okay, when is this going to relief get better? But it's just something that I'm going through, just like my mother. Thank you so much. Just like my mother went through, it was times, because I had to think back. I was like, how did my mother get through all these Mother's Days, with her, without her mother? But she would talk to me about her and say, Tracy, this is my mother's favorite scripture and things like that. She would say things, and talk about her. But I can remember her. At times she would isolate, and I was like, wow, she was grieving, right? And it was never a point to where she, how, like, you may just say, oh, I got through it. No, it's like you have to learn how to live. You have to make adjustments. Okay, this person is, I planned my whole life basically around my mother. I was taking care of her, so I was her caregiver. She was living with me. So during the pandemic, remember when everybody was getting sick? We made it like through the end, but through at the very end, she started to get sick. So I was like, wow. And I didn't want her to go to the hospital because people was dropping like flies, right? And they just didn't give her continuity of care, right? She ended up getting a bed sore. And I was so angry because my mother took care of people, right? And the doctor cleared her from COVID, took her to the doctor, allow her to go from the nursing home where she was supposed to be rehab, going through rehabilitation, and she went to the hospital. But a lot of those people was neglected during the pandemic. But even in that, I've learned to say, okay, Lord, it's nothing that I can change. But through it all, y'all, God brought me through. So we made it, y'all. We made it. So appreciate the loved ones that you have that are here. That's my message to you. That's what I'm learning. Okay, even in that, you got to appreciate the people that are here. Love on the people. Take time with them. Love your siblings. Forgive. Don't, you may have moments where you fall out with people, but don't make it so long where you're not working on repairing and forgiveness, because life is short. Sarah, you said you sound like an amazing person. I bet your mother is really proud of you looking after her. Yes. I'll thank you so much because I enjoy every moment of it. Don't get me wrong, it was hard, but I enjoyed taking care of my mother because she was, went through so much, just took care of all of us. So I enjoyed that. I didn't complain. She gave me a hard time sometimes. But she was fighting. You know, when you're older, you be fighting for your life, trying to keep yourself together and your faculties and everything. But she was so funny. I started this YouTube with this channel with her. So if you get a chance, go through some of my videos with my mother. You are going to crack up because she is just that funny. She was like a walking comedian. And she didn't know it, but everybody just laughed every time she said something. And she was like, what is everybody laughing about? And I'm like, you need to be on TV. But I love you so much. Thank you for you said you only get only get one mother. Yes, you do. So appreciate your mom while they're here, y'all. So thanks for popping on to Unchurched Talk with the T. I love y'all so much. Like us and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Have a good morning. Thank you for popping on to my chat. Okay. God bless you, and I'll talk to y'all later. See y'all. Bye.